In the complex landscape of modern economics, the debate over tariffs and their implications often reveals the intricate trade-offs that policymakers must navigate. A recent analysis by William J. Luther, director of the Sound Money Project at the American Institute for Economic Research, sheds light on a critical yet frequently overlooked aspect of this discussion: the relationship between tariffs and income taxes. As governments grapple with rising debts and budget deficits, understanding these trade-offs becomes increasingly vital. At the heart of economic theory lies the principle of choice. When one option is prioritized, another must invariably be sacrificed. This is particularly salient in the context of tariffs, where proponents argue that imposing higher tariffs can bolster domestic industries and generate significant government revenue. However, economists caution that the reality is far more nuanced. A higher tariff rate might protect local manufacturers from foreign competition, but could also discourage imports to the extent that revenue generation diminishes. A 2019 study by economists Mary Amity, Stephen J. Redding, and David E. Weinstein examined the effects of tariffs introduced during the Trump administration. Their research indicated that the average tariff rate increased by approximately 1.7 percentage points, leading to a reduction in imports by an estimated 1.3 to 5.9%. The study estimated that these tariffs raised around $15.6 billion in additional revenue in 2018, but crucially, this revenue primarily came from American consumers rather than foreign exporters. As Luther highlights, while tariffs can yield revenue, they also impose a cost on domestic consumers who face higher prices as a result. The implications of these tariffs extend beyond simple revenue calculations. Economists typically refer to the deadweight loss associated with tariffs, which reflects the lost economic efficiency when transactions that would have occurred in a free market are hindered by artificially inflated prices. The aforementioned study estimated that the deadweight loss from these tariffs was around $8.2 billion in total, translating to about $156 per U.S. household annually. Thus, while tariffs may provide some protection to American industries, they come at a tangible cost to consumers and the economy as a whole. Interestingly, Luther posits that a trade-off exists not only between tariffs and consumer prices but also between tariffs and income taxes. As the U.S. government seeks to address its growing debt, projected to exceed $30 trillion, policymakers face a pressing question: how should additional revenue be generated? Luther argues that increasing reliance on tariffs could potentially reduce the need for higher income taxes, which also carry their own deadweight losses. The challenge, however, lies in assessing whether the marginal deadweight loss associated with additional tariffs is outweighed by the losses incurred through income taxes. The estimates suggest that for every dollar raised through tariffs, there is a corresponding deadweight loss of approximately 44 cents. In contrast, previous research by economist Martin Feldstein indicated that a mere 1% increase in marginal income tax rates could lead to a deadweight loss of around 76 cents per dollar raised. This comparison is crucial as it underscores the need for a comprehensive evaluation of taxation strategies as the U.S. navigates its fiscal challenges. Yet, as compelling as these arguments may be, they come with caveats. The effects of tariffs are not static; they can escalate as rates increase while the broader economic environment continues to evolve. Additionally, retaliatory tariffs from foreign nations can exacerbate the economic fallout, further complicating the landscape for U.S. exporters. As the U.S. government confronts its budgetary shortfalls, the political landscape complicates the path forward. While some advocate for the expiration of recent tax cuts, others push for higher tariffs as a solution. Ultimately, the decision-makers must weigh these options carefully, considering the broader implications for the economy. In conclusion, the analysis presented by Luther serves as a crucial reminder of the intricate interplay between tariffs, taxes, and the broader economy. As policymakers deliberate on revenue generation strategies, they must remain cognizant of the trade-offs involved. The path ahead will require a nuanced understanding of these dynamics to ensure a balanced approach that supports both economic growth and fiscal responsibility. As developments unfold, the ongoing discourse around tariffs and taxation will undoubtedly shape the future of U.S. economic policy. In the whirlwind of March Madness, excitement is building as the Kansas State women's basketball team gears up for a pivotal second-round NCAA tournament matchup against the University of Kentucky. With the game set for Sunday at 1 p.m. in Lexington, Kentucky, fans are eagerly anticipating what promises to be a thrilling contest between two formidable teams. Kansas State enters this round with a commanding momentum, having dispatched number 12 seed Fairfield with an impressive 85-41 victory. This performance not only showcased the Wildcats' offensive prowess but also their defensive capabilities, making them a team to watch as they advance deeper into the tournament. Coach Jeff Mittie expressed confidence in his team's ability to maintain this level of performance, stating, "We've played well together and our focus is on executing our game plan against a tough Kentucky team." On the other side of the court, Kentucky, seeded number 4 in the Spokane 4 Regional, narrowly secured their spot in the next round after a nail-biting 79-78 win over number 13 Liberty. The Wildcats had to fend off a fierce comeback attempt, demonstrating both resilience and determination. Head coach Kyra Elzy highlighted the importance of learning from their close call, remarking, "Every game is a lesson. We need to tighten our defense and ensure we execute under pressure." The stakes are high for both teams as the winner will advance to the regional semifinals in Spokane, Washington, where they could potentially face number 1 seed Southern California, who will be playing against number 16 North Carolina Greensboro in another first-round matchup. This tournament format not only emphasizes the importance of each game but also the unpredictability that March Madness is known for, where any team can emerge as a contender. As the Kansas State Wildcats and Kentucky Wildcats prepare to clash, the excitement surrounding this matchup is palpable. Fans and analysts alike are closely watching how both teams will adapt their strategies and respond to the high-pressure environment typical of the tournament. With Kansas State's recent dominant performance and Kentucky's ability to win under duress, this game is set to be a defining moment in both teams' NCAA journeys. As the clock counts down to game time, one can only speculate how the dynamics will play out on the court. Will Kansas State continue their run of dominance, or will Kentucky find a way to harness their recent lessons and advance further? The outcomes of such games can shape the narratives of the season, and one thing is certain: this matchup will be a highlight of the March Madness saga. In the ever-evolving landscape of journalism, few figures have left as indelible a mark as Norm Clark. The celebrated Las Vegas columnist and former Associated Press sports writer passed away at the age of 82 after a courageous battle with prostate cancer. His death on March 21, 2025 marks the end of an era for both sports reporting and entertainment journalism in Las Vegas, where Clark became a household name. Clark's illustrious career began in Cincinnati, where he covered the Cincinnati Reds during their transformative years in the 1970s, an era defined by the team's legendary Big Red Machine. His tenacity and knack for storytelling made him a formidable presence in the world of sports journalism. As he transitioned to the entertainment scene in Las Vegas, he adopted a style that blended sharp wit with an insider's perspective. His column Vegas Confidential, launched in 1999, quickly became a must-read, providing readers with a blend of celebrity gossip and behind-the-scenes insights. Norm's Review Journal column was so popular he became a celebrity in his own right, said Glenn Cook, executive editor of the Review Journal. Clark's unique ability to capture the essence of Las Vegas nightlife and celebrity culture brought him widespread acclaim. His coverage of high-profile events and personalities included memorable scoops such as Britney Spears' brief marriage in Las Vegas and Elton John's infamous onstage outburst. As he once described his column, it was the world's greatest buffet of entertainment news. His work earned him a reputation as a shrewd observer of human behavior in a city known for its glitz and glamour. Beyond his celebrity reporting, Clark's journalistic roots were firmly planted in hard news. His career was marked by significant moments, including his coverage of the tragic Beverly Hills Supper Club fire in 1977, where he was one of the first reporters on the scene. His relentless pursuit of the truth during such crises earned him the respect of peers and a legacy as a serious journalist. He had a special ear for quotes and the ability to get people to talk to him, recalled Denny Dressman, a former editor at the Rocky Mountain News. Clark's influence extended beyond his writings. He was known for his engaging personality, often becoming a character himself in the stories he told. His memoir Power of the Patch, released shortly before his passing, encapsulates his journey from a young boy in Montana to a renowned journalist in one of the world's most vibrant cities. He expressed a desire for the book to be shared freely in schools and libraries, emphasizing his commitment to inspiring future generations. As news of his passing spread, tributes poured in from colleagues, friends, and even celebrities who had crossed paths with Clark throughout his storied career. His legacy as a reporter who bridged the gap between hard news and entertainment will continue to resonate in the industry. Clark is survived by his wife Cara Roberts Clark and several family members, including his brother Jeff Scheid, who confirmed the news of his death. A memorial service is anticipated, allowing friends and fans to celebrate the life of a man who not only shaped the landscape of Las Vegas journalism but also left an enduring impact on the world of reporting. The future of entertainment journalism will undoubtedly be shaped by Clark's pioneering spirit and dedication to his craft. As the industry continues to evolve, aspiring journalists can look to Clark's legacy as a guiding light, reminding them that at its core journalism remains about storytelling, whether under the bright lights of Las Vegas or in the quiet corners of the world. In the realm of sports and business, few figures stand as prominently as Kobe Bryant. The late basketball legend, known not only for his unparalleled skills on the court but also for his astute investments, amassed a staggering fortune of $600 million. A recent revelation sheds light on one of the most significant yet unexpected contributors to his wealth, an investment he made at the tender age of 13. Bryant's investment journey began when he was just a teenager, fueled by a passion for basketball and a keen awareness of the potential in the business world. According to an article from Incorporated, Bryant made a pivotal decision to invest in a startup company, a move that would later pay off handsomely. This early investment, which cost him nothing, initially laid the foundation for his future financial success. It was never just about basketball for Kobe. He understood the importance of diversifying his interests early on, said Bryant's longtime financial advisor. The impact of Bryant's foresight is twofold. Firstly, it highlights the critical importance of financial literacy among young athletes who often find themselves in possession of substantial wealth at a young age. By taking a calculated risk and investing early, Bryant not only secured his own financial future but also set a precedent for other athletes to follow. His journey serves as a reminder that success can be built off the court, leveraging one's fame and fortune into viable long-term investments. In recent months, discussions around the intersection of technology and business have been reignited, particularly with the spotlight on figures like Elon Musk. Musk, the CEO of SpaceX and Tesla, has also demonstrated a remarkable ability to navigate the complexities of business and global relations. His visit to the Pentagon for a briefing on China has raised eyebrows due to the deep ties his companies have with both the U.S. government and Chinese markets. During the visit, Musk, who has secured over $22 billion in federal contracts, faced scrutiny regarding his potential access to sensitive information, especially given his significant operations in China. Tesla's Gigafactory in Shanghai has become a cornerstone of its manufacturing, producing nearly half of all Tesla vehicles last year. Musk's comments about China have often been favorable, stating that he believes the country is underrated and that its people bring positive energy. Such sentiments, coupled with his vast business interests, put him at a unique crossroads of influence and responsibility. Critics, including Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, have questioned Musk's presence at such high-level briefings, arguing that an unelected billionaire should not have access to sensitive government discussions. Legal experts suggest that while other defense contractors might consider litigation over Musk's access, the outcome would likely favor Musk, as there is no explicit promise of equal access to classified information. Musk's deep connections in both America and China exemplify a broader trend in the tech industry where the lines between national interests and corporate ambitions often blur. As global tensions rise, discussions around the implications of such ties become increasingly pertinent. Musk's response to inquiries about the briefing was nonchalant, reflecting a businessman who was accustomed to operating at the intersection of power and profit. As the worlds of sports and technology continue to evolve, the lessons from figures like Bryant and Musk offer critical insights. Bryant's legacy is not only that of a basketball icon but also that of a savvy investor who understood the value of financial acumen from a young age. Meanwhile, Musk represents a new generation of entrepreneurs who navigate complex international landscapes while holding significant sway over both market trends and geopolitical relations. Looking ahead, the interplay of financial literacy, investment strategies, and the responsibilities of influential business leaders will undoubtedly shape the future of both industries. As athletes and entrepreneurs alike learn from the legacies of these figures, the potential for success when combined with ethical considerations may redefine what it means to be a leader in the modern world. In the fast-evolving landscape of global trade and commerce, the actions and policies of world leaders can create ripples that reverberate across economies, industries, and everyday lives. Recently, U.S. President Donald Trump's impending tariffs on international trade partners have been dubbed Liberation Day, a phrase that encapsulates his administration's aggressive stance on trade reform. As the April 2 deadline approaches, businesses and investors are bracing for significant shifts in the economic landscape that could reshape relationships with allies and adversaries alike. Trump's aggressive tariff policy, which aims to impose retaliatory duties on a wide range of goods, has already begun to stir controversy. On March 22, the president hinted at the potential for flexibility in implementing these tariffs, suggesting that he might adjust the rates based on discussions with affected industries. "People are coming to me and talking about tariffs, and a lot of people are asking me if they could have exceptions," he remarked during a press briefing, underscoring the delicate balancing act between protecting domestic interests and maintaining international goodwill. The backdrop of this trade policy is a complex web of economic factors, including a generational interest rate shock and a new maverick approach to antitrust enforcement. Analysts note that businesses are increasingly wary of the uncertainty surrounding trade relations, particularly in light of the ongoing decoupling between the U.S. and China. The U.S. has already enacted tariffs on steel and aluminum imports, which have prompted retaliatory measures from the European Union and Canada, leading to heightened tensions and economic strain. As companies prepare for the potential consequences of these tariffs, the impact on various sectors is becoming clearer. For instance, the technology sector is facing new challenges as companies like Nvidia, which rely heavily on international supply chains, brace for increased costs. CEO Jensen Huang expressed confidence in the company's ability to navigate these turbulent waters, stating, "We have a nimble network of suppliers and plan to move some production to the U.S." However, the overall sentiment among investors remains cautious, with many viewing the trade war as the most significant risk to market stability. In the retail sector, companies are proactively seeking ways to mitigate the impact of tariffs on consumers. Major retailers are negotiating with suppliers in China to absorb some of the cost increases rather than passing them down the line. This strategy reflects a broader effort to maintain consumer prices amidst rising costs, but it also underscores the difficult position retailers find themselves in as they navigate an unpredictable market. Despite the uncertainty, some sectors are experiencing initial benefits from the tariff-induced environment. Reports indicate a surge in copper shipments as global suppliers rush to deliver goods before new tariffs take effect. This rush, however, is a double-edged sword. While it may provide short-term gains for some, it raises questions about long-term sustainability and the potential for supply shortages. As Liberation Day approaches, the implications of Trump's tariff strategy extend beyond immediate economic concerns. The prospect of retaliatory measures from trading partners, particularly from the EU and China, looms large, with tariffs on American goods expected to escalate tensions further. In a recent statement, European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde warned that a full-blown trade war could lead to significant economic fallout, particularly for the US, where growth may be stunted and inflation spurred. In the coming weeks, all eyes will be on the White House as the administration finalizes its plans for the reciprocal tariffs. The potential for significant changes in trade dynamics, along with the uncertainty surrounding their implementation, has left many businesses and investors on edge. As the situation continues to unfold, the long-term effects of these policies remain to be seen, but one thing is clear: the road ahead will demand adaptability and resilience from companies operating in an increasingly complex global landscape. In a world increasingly focused on longevity and health, recent studies highlight the profound impact of lifestyle changes on extending not just lifespan but health span, the period during which individuals remain healthy and free from chronic diseases. Two significant studies, one involving U.S. veterans and another focusing on UK civilians, collectively monitored nearly 300,000 participants over a decade. The findings suggest that even small lifestyle adjustments can yield considerable benefits, while more substantial changes can lead to transformative outcomes. The studies published in notable journals delve into the correlation between specific lifestyle factors and health outcomes. The research indicates that habits such as regular physical activity, balanced nutrition, and smoking cessation are pivotal in enhancing health span. As noted in the findings, small changes can have big effects and big changes can have huge ones. This perspective is not merely theoretical, it quantifies how healthful habits can contribute to a longer, healthier life. Moreover, the emerging science of health span reveals that genetics play a role, but they do not dictate an individual's destiny. The genetic die may be cast, but it's still possible to add healthful years with lifestyle changes. Emphasizes the research community behind these studies. As health professionals and researchers continue to explore this field, the focus remains on actionable strategies that individuals can adopt to improve their overall health outcomes. In a related vein, another aspect of health that is gaining attention is oral health and its significant correlation with overall well-being. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) has reported alarming statistics regarding periodontitis among American adults, particularly among the elderly. Approximately 40% of adults over 30 and 60% of those over 65 suffer from gum disease, which can lead to a cascade of health issues beyond oral discomfort. Research has increasingly linked poor oral health to various chronic diseases, including diabetes and heart disease, suggesting that maintaining good dental hygiene is crucial for overall health. The healthier the teeth and gums, the healthier the body, states Lisa Simon, a physician and dentist who has emphasized the importance of oral health in the broader context of health span. The inflammatory nature of periodontal disease can exacerbate existing health issues, linking oral care directly to the management of systemic diseases. Technological advancements in dentistry, such as the development of new materials and techniques for tooth restoration, have opened new avenues for improving oral health. Innovations like digital crowns and caries vaccines show promise for the future of dental care. However, as Simon points out, the challenge remains in ensuring equitable access to these advancements. Vulnerable populations, particularly low-income and rural communities, often face barriers to receiving adequate dental care. The removal of routine dental coverage from Medicare has further complicated access for older adults, underscoring the urgent need for policy reforms to address these disparities. To ensure everyone benefits, dental care must be accessible from childhood onward, Simon advocates, highlighting the importance of preventive care in shaping long-term health outcomes. As we advance into an era where the quality of life is as important as longevity, understanding the interconnectedness of lifestyle choices, oral health, and overall well-being will be crucial. The potential for future developments in health span science and dental care raises hopeful prospects for a society that values not only living longer but living better. As researchers continue to explore these vital connections, individuals are encouraged to take proactive steps in their daily lives to enhance their health span, ensuring that the years ahead are not just lived but truly enjoyed. In recent years, the interplay between genetics and environmental factors in determining longevity has become a focal point for researchers. A groundbreaking study published in Nature Medicine seeks to unravel this complex relationship, revealing that the choices we make in our surroundings may significantly shape our lifespan, often overshadowing the influence of our genes. The research utilized data from the UK Biobank, which encompasses health and lifestyle information from nearly 500,000 individuals, including genetic profiles and medical histories. Additionally, a subset of over 45,000 participants underwent proteomic profiling, a sophisticated technique that assesses protein changes in the body over time to estimate biological age. This contrasts with chronological age, providing a more nuanced view of how quickly an individual's body is aging. Researchers meticulously analyzed 164 environmental exposures alongside genetic markers for disease, focusing on various factors such as lifestyle choices, socioeconomic status, and early life experiences. Their findings were striking. Environmental factors accounted for approximately 17% of the variation in lifespan, while genetic factors contributed less than 2%. This outcome leans heavily toward the nurture side of the long-standing nature versus nurture debate, suggesting that our environment and lifestyle choices play a crucial role in determining health and longevity. The study highlighted that age and sex explained a significant portion of mortality variation, but the findings underscore the dominant influence of environmental factors, particularly in relation to diseases such as lung, heart, and liver conditions. Interestingly, while genetics appeared to have a more substantial impact on risks associated with certain cancers and dementia, the overall takeaway was clear: our choices matter. Among the environmental influences identified, smoking, physical activity levels, socioeconomic status, and living conditions were pivotal in determining both mortality and biological aging. Surprisingly, the study also noted that being taller at age 10 correlated with a shorter lifespan, a finding that aligns with previous research suggesting a complex relationship between height and health outcomes. Perhaps the most unexpected revelation was the lack of a strong association between dietary habits and biological aging. This finding raises questions given the well-established links between diet and chronic disease risk. Possible explanations include the limited statistical power of the dietary analysis, reliance on self-reported data, and the inherent complexity of diet-related health outcomes. The study does, however, come with limitations. Key exposures like diet were only recorded at a single point in time, which may skew results. Additionally, as an observational study, it cannot definitively establish causal relationships. For instance, while living with a partner correlated with longer lifespans, it does not imply that this arrangement is the direct cause of increased longevity. Despite these caveats, the implications of this research are profound. The findings empower individuals by emphasizing that lifestyle choices such as diet, exercise, and socioeconomic factors are critical in shaping health outcomes. This presents a hopeful narrative that while genetics can predispose individuals to certain health risks, our everyday choices hold considerable weight in determining our overall well-being and longevity. As society grapples with health disparities linked to socioeconomic status, the study underscores the need to address these social determinants of health. By creating environments that promote healthier lifestyle choices, we can enhance the prospect of longer, healthier lives for all individuals regardless of their genetic background. Ultimately, this research not only informs public health strategies but also encourages personal agency in the pursuit of longevity. In a significant diplomatic development in East Asia, Japan, China, and South Korea have reaffirmed their commitment to fostering peace and cooperation during a trilateral meeting held in Tokyo. This gathering of the three nations' top diplomats underscores a shared responsibility towards maintaining stability on the Korean peninsula, as emphasized by South Korea's Foreign Minister Park Jin. The discussions come on the heels of a rare summit in May where leaders from the three countries sought to deepen trade ties and reiterated their goal of achieving a denuclearized Korean peninsula. Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba of Japan articulated the importance of pragmatic diplomacy during the talks, highlighting the need for constructive dialogue amidst historical tensions and territorial disputes that have long characterized relations among these nations. The meeting in Tokyo is regarded as a critical step towards rebuilding trust and enhancing collaboration in various sectors, particularly in trade and security. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, who participated in the trilateral discussions, echoed the sentiment of shared responsibility, stating that regional stability is contingent upon cooperative efforts among neighboring countries. This sentiment reflects a broader recognition that the complex geopolitical landscape of East Asia requires a united front to navigate challenges, particularly those posed by North Korea's nuclear ambitions. The backdrop of these discussions is a region fraught with historical grievances and disputes, including territorial conflicts and differing perspectives on wartime history. Nevertheless, the recent summit suggests a shift towards a more collaborative approach. As the three nations work to overcome past animosities and focus on mutual benefits through economic partnerships and security cooperation. Foreign Minister Park Jin noted that the commitment to peace on the Korean peninsula is not only a national imperative for each country but also a responsibility shared among all parties involved. This collaborative spirit is essential as the region faces evolving security dynamics, including North Korea's missile tests and the increasing influence of external powers. As the trilateral dialogue progresses, analysts are observing its potential impacts on regional stability and economic cooperation. The fostering of closer ties among Japan, China, and South Korea could lay the groundwork for a more unified approach to addressing regional challenges, from trade disputes to security threats. Looking ahead, the ongoing diplomatic efforts among these three nations could pave the way for more substantial agreements and initiatives aimed at reducing tensions and fostering a peaceful coexistence. The developments in Tokyo signify a cautious optimism that despite historical complexities, collaborative diplomacy can yield positive outcomes in an increasingly interconnected world. As the dialogues continue, stakeholders remain hopeful that these discussions will evolve into actionable strategies that ensure peace and stability in East Asia for years to come. In a striking revelation that challenges long-held beliefs in the fitness community. New research suggests that the widely endorsed practice of supplementing with 5 grams of creatine daily may not yield the muscle-building benefits that many have come to expect. A recent study conducted by a team of researchers at UNSW Sydney in Australia and published in the journal Nutrients indicates that participants who incorporated creatine into their resistance training regimen did not achieve significantly greater gains in lean muscle mass compared to those who did not take the supplement. The study, led by exercise scientist Mandy Hagstrom, involved over 50 healthy adults aged 18 to 50, all of whom had limited experience with weight training. Participants were placed on a consistent resistance training program, performing 3 lifting sessions each week, and were asked to maintain a food log to monitor their dietary intake. Intriguingly, the researchers implemented a wash-in phase wherein participants took creatine for a week before starting the training program. This method aimed to isolate the effects of creatine from the benefits of resistance training, addressing a limitation present in previous studies. Hagstrom explained, "We've shown that taking 5 grams of creatine supplement per day does not make any difference to the amount of lean muscle mass people put on while resistance training. Early on in the trial, the creatine group did show an increase in mass, but this was quickly attributed to fluid retention, a well-known effect of creatine, rather than actual muscle growth. As the study progressed, the gains in muscle mass for the creatine group tapered off and ultimately leveled with the control group. This unexpected outcome raises critical questions about the efficacy of low-dose creatine supplementation for muscle building. Historically, the advice to take 5 grams daily has been rooted in a substantial body of research, leading many in the fitness community to view creatine as a staple for enhancing performance and muscle growth. However, the current findings suggest that this dosage may be insufficient for those seeking to maximize their hypertrophic potential. The implications of this study extend beyond mere muscle gain. Creatine has also been associated with other health benefits, including improved brain function, enhanced bone health, and possibly reduced mortality rates. While it remains a cost-effective supplement, the findings prompt a re-evaluation of its effectiveness, particularly at lower dosages. For those still committed to the idea of creatine supplementation, the research does hint at potential avenues for further exploration. One possibility mentioned by co-author Imtiaz Desai is that a higher dosage, perhaps 10 grams per day, could yield better results. Or that the supplement may provide more pronounced benefits for seasoned lifters as opposed to novices. Desai noted it would be really interesting to see if creatine has more of a long-term benefit, suggesting that the supplement's impact might emerge more clearly after the initial stages of training. In conclusion, while the findings from this study may serve as a wake-up call for many who rely on creatine for muscle growth, they also open the door for further research. As scientists continue to investigate the complexities surrounding supplements and their effects on muscle physiology, the future may hold new insights that could reshape recommendations for athletes and fitness enthusiasts alike. For now, it seems that the long-cherished belief in the power of creatine may need to be tempered with a dose of skepticism and a willingness to adapt to new evidence.